Hi there. I am a longtime listener, first time communicator, and I'm an attorney. I've been practicing for 10 years. I'm a partner at my law firm. There's only three of us. I own a third of the firm. I am a pretty high income earner. This past year, just me alone, I made about $1.2 million. With that money, I paid off my law school debt, and my husband, who is an orthopedic resident in Los Angeles, I also paid off his medical school debt. We now have fairly healthy six figures in the bank before taxes, which all of that money we've calculated and will allocate. But now we're trying to decide what to do with the remaining money that we have. Do we begin investing? Do we save for a home? I've looked at the disadvantages of getting a physician mortgage for when he becomes an attending. Would much rather go with a conventional loan with a healthy down payment if possible. But we're really just beginning our investment and retirement savings journey and are just looking for some sage wisdom about what makes the most sense, generally speaking, now that we have some freed up income, now that our student debt is completely eliminated, which was about $500,000. So if you can provide any advice or guidance, that would be very helpful. Thanks.
Great job, Hillary. You paid off not only your student loans, but you paid off an orthopedist student loans. $500,000. That's awesome. Congratulations on your success. That's really good. So now what? Well, now you're in the place where most new attending physician graduates are. You come out of residency, you have all these great uses for money, but you only have limited funds. Well, at least you've already eliminated one of those great uses for money, right? You've already paid off the student loans, so that's great. Other things that people focus on as they're coming out of training, they focus on building a reasonable emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. They focus on maxing out retirement accounts, maybe even doing some Roth conversions if they're not yet at their peak earnings level. You know, if you had some tax deferred money from a prior career or from your time in residency or something like that. You might also consider saving up a down payment. In your case, you really want to do a conventional mortgage, so you're going to need to save up a 20% down payment. And if you're looking at a, $500,000 or $1 million house, that might be, $100,000 or $200,000 you need to save up. So that might take most of your current savings. And then, of course, the greatest financial task of our lives is to save up enough money for retirement so that we can live off of it for 20 or 30, 40 years in retirement. Jonathan Clements refers to that as the greatest financial task of our lives. And I think that's true. No time like the present to get started, especially because you cannot get back retirement account space. Whether it's an HSA, whether it's a backdoor Roth IRA for each of you, whether it's his 403B at the residency program, whether it's something offered through your law firm, whatever's available to you, you want to start saving for retirement. So try to max as many of those out. But if you're on track to have your down payment money by when you need it, and if you are maxing out all your retirement accounts and you're spending as much money as you want to spend, and you want to invest more, well, you just do it in a taxable account. Or if you're not quite saving as much as you need to inside your retirement accounts for retirement, then you got to do some of that inside a taxable account. But there's no limit on a taxable account. You can always invest more money. There's nothing that keeps you from doing it. But those are sort of the ways I would think about it. I would prioritize the down payment over whatever time period you need to have it by. If you want to have it in a year and you're halfway there, well, that's probably going to be a major chunk of your savings this year. If you don't need it for 5 years, then, it might not be that big of a chunk of your savings this year. And then the rest, I'd start saving for retirement, unless you have other financial goals. Maybe you got kids you need to get 529 started with, or maybe you want to save up for a Tesla or something, or whatever, whatever your financial goals are. But you have to balance those goals one against another. And weigh them out. And that's really what the budgeting and the saving process is all about, is weighing your values and making sure your money is going where you want it to go, and that it's going to what you care about most. If you want your questions answered by the White Coat Investor, record your question at whitecoatinvestor.com/YQA or click the link in the description.